In this video, we're going to look at configuring the dates within a learning object. So first, we'll open up a learning object, and we'll take a look at the date tool. When I click the off button to turn it on, you'll notice that this section pops up where I will be able to configure that tool. So there's a couple of things that you're going to need to configure here. One is when the activity that's in this learning object will start, as well as when the activity is supposed to be ending. And the ending is the due date. So when is this actually going to be due? So when I click on Start, I get the drop-down menu. You'll notice it has negative days as well as positive days and TBA. Negative days count back from the start date of the course each week. So if your course meets for the first time on a Monday, the negatives will start from 0 back from that Monday day. If it says TBA, that means there's no specific day. We only care about the week in that sense. Positive days mean, for instance, again, 0. 0 day means it's the day that the course starts in that week. So again, if that's a Monday, then Monday will always be 0. If the course starts on a Tuesday, Tuesday will be the 0. Now this is kind of a complicated process, but if you always, in the design process and as you're working on that, just make sure you write down a little cheat sheet for yourself that has what those days are, and then you can use that to count back whether it's a positive day or a negative day. And that's one thing you can do to help you to kind of understand how that works and to remember what those days are. We also care about the week that this occurs. So let's use that as an example that will also make the negative and positive make more sense. If this is starting on week 1, I'll put a 1 there. And week 1 would be the first week. So if I said day 0 of week 1, and my course always starts on a Monday every week, then Monday would be day 0 of week 1. Let's say this is due at the end of that same week 1. So I'm going to put a 1 here on the due. And then what day would be the end day? Well, that would be day 6, because day 6 would be the last day of week 1. So in this example, we have our assignment starting on the first day of week 1, which is day 0, and it's due at the end of week 1 on the last day, and in this case, day 6 would be Sunday. So that's one example. Let's look at another example. Let's look at week 2. So let's change both of these to week 2s because we know we're going to be in week 2. Let's say we want to have something that starts at the end of week 1, but it's due in week 2. So in this example, even though I've said this is week 1, I can use those negative days to go back into week 1. So I'm going to click on Start. And let's say I want it to start 3 days before the end of the course. So let's see, if Monday is 0, -1 would be Sunday, -2 would be Saturday, and -3 would be Friday. So if I wanted that student to start that assignment for week 2 on Friday, I would say -3. And if I wanted it to be due, let's say on the second day of week 2, I would say 1. Because we know that would be Tuesday, because 0 in our case is Monday. So that's what that ends up being. So let's save this one so we can test it. So I'm going to click on Save, and let's go out to the course page, and we can see that it's due on day 1 of week 2. When we have real dates in the course, our system is going to calculate that and tell us what that is. We're going to look at how those due dates can be tested later on when we check out the preview function. So you've now learned how to set dates within a learning object and get an idea of what the 0 day is and how to use negative days to achieve starting and ending of assignments.